Newly released body camera footage from...
Okay, this is Diesel We the People. I jumped the gun a little bit on there. Whoopsie. It happens to the best of us. I know, because I'm one of the best. I'm stretching the truth. Now, I never look straight forward. I always look around me just to be able to protect myself by any means necessary. So, it never has to be any type of weapons. You can use words and papers to be able to protect yourself. This grabbed my attention actually today. And I'm not fully informed of what the situation really actually is. However, I'm going to put this video out there because my next video is going to have to do with the arrest of this lady. And it's going to be more of the body cam. Now we're going to have to run through this the arrest thing. As most people out there, officers, refuse to say they're harming people when they actually are, because they never used torture cuffs on themselves. So they don't know what it feels like. But anyway, this is the basic story of, well, this lady. Alrighty,
The arrest of Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters earlier this week shows that the Republican clerk, who's continuously pushing election rigging claims, even tried to convince the arresting officers that they were simply pawns in a conspiracy to silence her. Have a seat in the car.
Do you have any idea where it is?
Just get over a little bit.
Do you really know what you're doing? You're assisting Merrick Garland to not show the truth of what the election is.
Get over.
Really know.
That's the end of that. Clerk Peters could be heard accusing the officers of Grand Junction Police Department of being in cahoots with the U.S. Attorney General. They were actually in cahoots with DA investigators who were serving a search warrant to seize Peters' iPad on Tuesday. She's accused of using the iPad to improperly record a court hearing and then lie to a judge about it. Investigators later talked to Peters in the patrol car, and she told them that they should be investigating.
Oh, golly gee, she's using a tape recorder of a judge. Ooh, boo-hoo-hoo.
Election fraud instead. Peters was released on scene after being uncuffed. You can hear her on the tape telling officers that they had broken her hand or her wrist. She was offered an ambulance, declined. Peters is facing 2 misdemeanor charges for obstructing a police officer and obstructing government operations. On top of that, she faces additional local and federal investigations for the security breach of Mesa County's voting systems. Clerk Peters then spoke publicly for the first time since her arrest at a gathering in Castle Rock last night. The conservative group FEC United held what was called an emergency town hall. It was a who's who of election conspiracy theorists, including one who suggested hanging Colorado's Democratic Secretary of State. Said that to applause inside a church. Here's politics guy Marshall Zellinger.
So you want to know where to invest $1,000 right now? Well, forget about stocks, real estate, or cryptocurrency. There is a little known...
Marshall Zellinger.
For 3 hours Thursday night, FEC United hosted what it called a, quote, emergency town hall with Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters and special guests.
So, do they know me as the number one most dangerous election denier in Colorado?
That special guest is Sean Smith, an election rigging conspiracy theorist who at this meeting said, without proof, he had evidence of criminal election conduct by Colorado Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold. Then, in a church, he more than hinted at ignoring one of the 10 commandments.
You involved in election fraud, then you deserve to hang. I'm saying when you put your hand on a hot stove, you get burned.
I took it very seriously. I reported it to State Patrol.
Griswold learned about this threat through social media, where she has received numerous threats, which she shared with us and law enforcement.
Usually nothing happens, and it's very concerning because we're seeing these attacks against secretaries of state, predominantly women.
The threats of hanging elected leaders did not start last night.
If you see any articles that are out there that talk about Joe Oltmann is talking about sending people to the gallows, I did. I said that. I said that, you know, the adequate response for treason is 100% being hung by your neck till you're dead.
Joe Altman, the head of FEC United, has pushed that narrative on his conservative podcast and speaking events multiple times.
And by the way, if you don't like me talking about the gallows and hanging those that are traitors against our country, change the law because it's in the Constitution that you should be hung.
Thursday night's comments were at The Rock, a church in Castle Rock. I stopped by there today to see if the church and the pastor who attended the event supports the idea of hanging the Secretary of State and if the church would have FEC United back again. The pastor told me he was against the deadline and would like to sit down with me later, but that it was not a simple yes or no. It is. I have received many questions about how an
No, it's not a simple yes or no.
event like that can impact a church's tax-exempt status. I reached out to the IRS to get some basics. I am by far not an expert on this still, but a church can have a public forum. However, if there is support for or against any specific candidate, that's where it gets a little squirrely.
And perhaps we could ask the church if they'd be interested in hosting the hanging. I imagine with the amount...
Well, there goes the separation of church and state. Imagine that, y'all. Okay, so, again, don't know exactly what the whole story is on this. The first video I seen was the arrest and the whole body cam. And we need to kind of run through it. But I wanted to kind of give you guys a basic idea before the other video who this person is. Or this woman. So, there you are. Alrighty. Till next time, y'all. This will be the People News. We'll see you on the next video.